have just got home from watching Aquaman, and it was pretty good. I'm not going to say it's amazing. It's not the Save the DCEU movie that everyone says it is. It is really good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not quite up there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a couple of the things that I didn't really like before I get into all the things that I did like. Like I said, very, very good movie, but it's not up there for me. If I had to rank it, I'll probably give it maybe a 7 out of 10. Now, the things that I didn't quite enjoy were it's very run-of-the-mill superhero movie. Now, a lot of superhero movies, they follow the same kind of storyline. You know, you've got the hero. It shows you a brief moment of his origin, which I actually kind of liked. They didn't dwell on it too much. It was a maybe 5-minute scene at the movie, just kind of introducing us to the character, because all we know of him in this universe is what we saw in Justice League. So I liked the quick 5-minute origin, but the rest of the movie, it follows a very archetypal superhero, storyline. It's, we have the hero. He doesn't really want to be a hero, but he's got all these powers, and he gets dragged into this situation that he doesn't necessarily want to be in, much like Justice League. And then he finds his way. He finds out who he is and what he needs to do to become a hero, and then eventually he does become the hero. It's a formula that they all follow, which is fine, but sometimes it can get a bit boring and a bit samey, because we see it time and time and time again. One of the other things I really didn't like very much was, it's only a personal preference, but I saw this movie in 3D, and I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in 3D and absolutely loved it. They really used the 3D to enhance the story, whereas this, it gave me a bit of a headache after a while, and it actually became very blurry in a lot of scenes. There's a lot of times where I couldn't really see what was going on, and as I'm trying to focus on certain things and certain characters, I couldn't really see what was going on, and it took me out of the movie quite a bit, and it made me not really enjoy it as much as what I could have. I think maybe on a second viewing, watching it in normal standard 2D, I may enjoy it a lot more, but it's that really just drew me out of it, and it just confused me and gave me a massive headache, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just sit there and enjoy this movie, but maybe that's my own fault for spending the extra little bit of money that I had viewing it in 3D. Maybe in future I'm not going to keep doing that. But like I say, it's weird because Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, it really enhanced the story and it made it so much more better with the 3D. But this, it just completely took me out of the story. I didn't really like that as much. Another thing I didn't like, the villain, again, very run-of-the-mill, is just, he's evil for kind of no reason. It's like, spoiler alert, he goes through the majority of this movie believing his mother to be dead, and I get that he's upset with this and that he blames Aquaman for this, but the fact that he was so evil because of this, it was kind of silly. It's like he went through his whole life just hating everyone else and dedicating his life to trying to kill everyone so he could get his own way. I just thought it was kind of silly. A lot of villains do this now. They're just so evil for no reason. Like, chill out, bro. What's your problem? What's wrong? Sit down and talk to someone about it. I'm sure your problems aren't that bad when you really speak about them and you really put them out on the table. It's a nothing thing, really. I guess obviously there's some other trauma that's gone on in his life, but it was just a bit weird that he wanted to become, the Ocean Master just because he was upset. I get it. I get when you're upset, you do things you don't want to do, but to do it your whole life is just, it's a bit silly, and I didn't really like that. I love Patrick Wilson's performance of Orm, who does want to become the Ocean Master. I thought it was great. He really got stuck into this role, and he was believable with what he was given to say, but just the character arc in question, I just didn't really like. Just a few little things that bother me. They're not that bad where I hate this movie. You know, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, he has nailed that role. You know, it's not what we are used to in the comic books. You know, Aquaman is very much a joke throughout the world of pop culture, but in this and from Justice League, he is a badass character, and he takes no guff. You know, he is who he is, and he's just a big, strong, just very manly character. You know, he is a great version of Aquaman. I really like it. And even throughout this movie, that arc that I didn't quite like, you know, or I have to be a hero, I don't want to be a hero, but I'll be a hero anyway, even though I don't want to be a hero, and oh well, I'm good at being a hero, so I'm going to be a hero. I didn't quite like that, but he does really well with it. You know, he's pretty much playing himself. You know, if you ever watch an interview with Jason Momoa and the way he acts, he is very much the same as his character, but I don't know, it's so good seeing it up on screen, and him being Aquaman, it is incredible. He really is good, and based on this, I think it's going to do well enough where it will get a sequel and he will carry on playing Aquaman, and I'm fine with that because he is really good and I really like him as this character. Amber Heard as Mera, fine. You know, she is really good. The character is amazing, very visually stunning, not just, you know, looks wise. I mean, some of the things that she does, her powers and the whole CGI aspect around her character, absolutely stunning, and it's really just visually, just to look at, absolutely amazing. I'd recommend it, you know, watching this movie just for that. Some of the things that she does with her powers are absolutely outstanding. They're great. Willem Dafoe as, I can't remember his name. It's Valak. Yeah, Willem Dafoe as Valak. Not Valak. That's the bad guy in The Nun. But Willem Dafoe's character, very good, very, again, run of the mill. You know, he's trying to help Aquaman, but he's supposed to be on the bad guy side, and the bad guy finds out, and you know, is upset with him about it. You know, it's very run of the mill, but it's all very well presented. I mean, James Wan, the director, he really knows what he's doing, and he's presented this in such a way that even though it's very, very, you know, it could be very boring, you know, very run of the mill, but he presents it in such a way that it is enjoyable and, again, visually stunning. Like, the CGI in this movie was outstanding. From what I noticed, you know, I was upset with the 3D aspect, and, you know, it really took me out of the movie quite a bit, but some of the scenes in this movie, I mean, just the way that they stand there, or they float there underwater having a conversation with each other, it's again, it's stunning, just absolutely beautiful the way it's shot, and you know, their hair's waving around, and there's this kind of tint of them speaking underwater when you hear them talking. It's, imagine dipping your head in a bath and then trying to have a conversation with someone. That's what it sounds like. It's beautifully shot. It really is stunning, but again, with a few little qualms that I had, I really want to see it again in 2D, because I believe that if I watch it again, it's not going to be as bad as what I originally assumed it to be. Just some of the other supporting characters. Dolph Lundgren is in there. I didn't even realise it was him. I knew he was in this movie, but when I was watching it, I did not place him at all. You know, I spent most of the time with him on screen going, I know that guy. Who is he? What do I know him from? I couldn't. When I read it afterwards and I realised it was Dolph Lundgren, I was shocked. I really was amazed. He is really good in this movie. Yeah, I think all round, it is a very good movie. It likes to poke fun at itself, which is refreshing. I like that. One of the main things that I picked up on was, as I said, Aquaman is very much a joke character from his time in the comics and the old 60s Super Friends cartoon, how he rides around on a seahorse. Very silly, very stupid, but in this, he actually rides a seahorse, and I'm certain that they did this on purpose to kind of poke fun at the people poking fun of it. I appreciate it if it was done on purpose, because it was amazing. It's a big giant seahorse. It's not like a little tiny. It's a big huge seahorse, and he rides it into battle like a horse. And it is hilarious, and again, visually, you know, amazing. and I'm so glad that they did that because it made me laugh. It probably wasn't as funny as what it was supposed to be, but I could not help but chuckle along to that. Yeah, a lot of the animals in this movie were great. You know, very weird creatures as well. Some creatures that I don't know where the hell they come from. You know, there was giant seahorses, like I said, weird giant crab creatures, and I guess they kind of put it down to these creatures are yet undiscovered, but very, very beautiful. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this movie. I really thought it was a lot of fun and worth the money that I spent on it. Although I still have my qualms with the 3D. The 3D that did not give me a headache was absolutely amazing. It actually did what 3D is supposed to do. It felt like it was right in front of me. I could have reached out and grabbed it. You know, maybe I should get 3D for mine because this is whoa. Yeah, if only YouTube was in 3D, but that's how it felt. It just came, it jumped out of the screen. I know, obviously, that's what it's meant to do, but it's, when you're actually watching it, it's so beautiful. It really is to see. I loved it. I say I loved it. I did really like it. I didn't love it. It could have been a lot better. But again, with it being the DCEU, it could have been a lot worse. So props to James Wan and Jason Momoa himself. Black Manta, I didn't even mention Black Manta. He was very strange. Like, he was really good, really menacing as a villain. Probably more so than Patrick Wilson's Orm. You know, he again had this typical villain arc where at the beginning of the movie when he's first introduced, I actually kind of liked him, and the way he kind of turns into a villain, it's very, oh, we've seen this, but you know, it's there to kind of move the plot along and make him a proper villain, and he does, and he builds the suit with the laser eyes, and it's very good. He's not in it a lot, which I'm kind of upset about. I wish he was in it a lot more, but he did what he was supposed to do. He was a secondary villain. You know, he was there to kind of kill some time. But he was very interesting, and I did really enjoy his scenes. It was hard to understand him at times because he's wearing this big helmet mask thing, and when he spoke, I struggled to hear what he was saying, but it was really good. He was really amazing in this movie. But yeah, all round, it was a fine movie. You know, I'll give it a thumbs up, and you know, like I said, a 7 out of 10. I'm interested to see where they go from now and how this DCEU is going to pan out. I just hope that Wonder Woman 84 can carry this on and, you know, maybe build DC back up again, which is what we all want as movie fans. I'm a big DC fan. I have not been a big fan of these movies. I just hope they can kind of steer it upwards instead of like they have been. But yes, that is my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments down below. Feel free to give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.